What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Blumfgott. Hey! And today we're back with another One Piece reaction. Today we will be reacting to content creator Tainted Marth. And he's going to be telling us about the Florian Triangle Monsters. The name of this video we are watching is One Piece Florian Triangle Monsters Mystery Finally Solved. Now, before we get into the video, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the theory. Let me know what you think of my reaction. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments. Also, follow me on Twitch so you can catch me live and you can engage with me in real time. If you want to get at me directly, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And join the Discord. The Discord is going to be the best place to get at me. That's usually where I'm the most active. And if you want to send me content like what we're watching today, I have a channel that is designated for you guys to send me content like this. And if you want to be part of a future discussion stream, you must be a member of the Discord. All of these will be in the description box below, as well as the video we are reacting to today. So y'all could go show Marth some love. Let's get into the video. Now, well, before we get into the video, right? The video we are reacting to today is from Tainted Marth. The title is One Piece Florian Triangle Monsters Mystery Finally Solved. Now, this video intrigues me because it is about the Florian Triangle. Kind of like in real life, we got the Bermuda Triangle, which is a mystery in its own in real life. Like a lot of people, like there's been planes, ships, all types of stuff that get lost in the Bermuda Triangle, and there's never any explanation. Nobody, I think they go missing. We don't know what happened to them. It's just a lot of mystery, real life. And the Florian Triangle is kind of like the One Piece version of the Bermuda Triangle. And this is during the arc where we get Thriller Bark, where we run into Gecko Moria. We get that epic ending with Kuma showing up, Zoro moment, all that good stuff, right? All this happened in the Florian Triangle. But what else happened in the Florian Triangle? We see some shadows of some big monster looking beings. Like these are giants. I think the giants, they're bigger than even normal giants, at least the shadow that they casted, right? And I've heard some theories like possibly maybe they're like Zunisha's. I think I don't know if some people say that the silhouettes look like maybe they could be related to Zunisha's. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, but I really do. I really do want to learn more about the mysteries of the Florian Triangle. I've even made statements that if One Piece was to do a spinoff, I would want a spinoff of One Piece, or like a maybe not a sequel, but more of a spinoff where we get a new character such that's similar to like Robin or Blackbeard, right? More so Robin, right? And their goal or their adventure is not to find the One Piece, because obviously we're going to find the One Piece at the end of the series. Luffy's going to become Pirate King, so I don't think we need a repeat of that story. We don't need a new character trying to find the One Piece to become the Pirate King. We don't need that. But if Oda, not per se Oda, but if he wants to give this task to like somebody else that's part of his team, they could find a new character who's like an archaeologist or some type of historian, and they go around the world and uncover a lot of the secrets of the One Piece world that we may not get answers to in the main story. Like this is what I would like, right? A lot of people say different stories, like they want like maybe a Shank spinoff. I think a Shank spinoff would be good as well, because then we could get a lot about Roger, how he became a Yonko, all the way up to when he met Luffy. But I think a better idea, because it would be different, right? It would be a little different, is to have like some type of archaeologist who uncovers the secrets. One thing I would like to see is them uncover the secrets of the Florian Triangle, right? That would be a great way to get answers to the Florian Triangle. Another thing I've said is like Tequila Wolf, right? That the bridge that they're building, the one that Robin was sent to. You know, they're building this big bridge that connects, I think, islands, but we never really get answer of why they're building that bridge, right? I think there's been speculations, but I don't remember ever getting the answer of why they're building the bridge. I have my own speculation. If you build a bridge, you connect every island together, that means the oceans will be off limits. So if you're traveling on ocean, the world government or the Marines will have zero qualms in sinking you because you shouldn't be. It's illegal to travel in the ocean, and they can also regulate travel. If you can only travel on this bridge, they can regulate that travel. I'm going a little off topic, but that's just one of the mysteries I would like to see uncovered more about Tequila Wolf. Florian Triangle probably has so many mysteries we could go into. Like, I think there's been a mention of like Emerald City, you know, like an Emerald City. I think Emerald City is kind of a reference on Wizard of Oz, where Oz was. I think that's what they called it, Emerald City. And I think there's been other mysteries in the One Piece world that have been brought up but never really explored. A spinoff could definitely answer a lot of those questions. But speaking of the Florian Triangle, though, you know, we've seen those silhouettes of those big things. What are they, right? And I think there's also been some other speculations of like, why did Moria find it better to be in the Florian Triangle, right? To operate there. But I don't want to go into it. Let's get into the video and see what Tainted Marth has to say about the Florian Triangle and these big monsters. All right, so let's get into the video.
I may have uncovered the secret behind the giant shadows in the Florian Triangle, and while doing so, I found more interesting hints that led me to rather more vague.
Yeah, those things, right? Those things. I've heard those being the silhouette of like whatever race Zunisha comes from. And these are bigger than giants, bro. They're probably like the biggest things we've seen in the series. I don't know if like yeah, I think they're bigger than San Juan Wolf, because I think San Juan Wolf is probably one of the biggest characters that we've seen. San Juan Wolf or Watamatsu, one of them are like the biggest characters. And these things, I think they tower over them by a lot. Because I think San Juan Wolf would probably be like at his biggest. I think he would probably reach like the top of Thriller Bark. But I don't know. I'm bad at like the whole size connection. I know there's like videos out there where you could connect all the characters in One Piece, like their heights, and even some like objects that are super big as well. There's like videos where they show you like the relation to the heights of all the characters. I think these things are probably the biggest things. Maybe Zunisha as well. You know, maybe Zunisha is probably their height.
Assumptions. If you've always wondered what the huge things in the fog behind Thriller are, keep watching this video.
Why you putting devil fruits in their mouth? Bro, that Usopp moment never ceased to get me, bro. Yo, I swear I thought he was going to stick that landing, bro. I thought he was going to stick. Like, every time I watch that, for some reason, I know it's going to happen. But my mind still just picture him sticking that landing. And because it looked like he going to stick it, too. Watch. Bam. It gets me every time, bro.
I think we all have wondered what these giant beings are, and while some of us might have already forgotten about them, they always stayed in the back of my mind.
Bro, I never forget about them. I never forget about them. Bro, like, the Florian Triangle, I feel as though it doesn't get talked about enough. It doesn't get talked about enough. You know, so, like, I do get excited when I see somebody talk about the Florian Triangle, because it should get talked about more, because it's just so many mysteries. It's so many theories that could come from this specific part of the world. So it's like, why don't people talk about it?
In chapter 442, we see the Strolls thinking about what the mysterious signal of a barrel they found could have been, when Nami notices changes in air pressure. She then proclaims that a huge storm is coming. I started looking at these things from a different angle, a more scientific perspective, if you will. The Florian Triangle is a big, extremely foggy region in the One Piece Sea where many ships and crews go missing. Okay, what do we work with here? We got lots of fog, and that on the ocean. So I was thinking, what is the reason for fog to develop on the sea?
Oh, I never considered that. Like the fog, right? Because I I think that's part of the reason why Moria stays in the Florian Triangle, because that fog, right? And I guess I guess I thought that he somehow or his island was producing that fog, but I don't think so. Maybe when he's around those big creatures or whatever. And I'm assuming this is where you're going with it. This is where I'm assuming where you're going with it. I know I'm getting ahead, but this is what I do, right? He's following those creatures because they produce that fog. Did my question? Did Zunisha produce fog? I don't remember ever saying that, but does Zunisha produce that fog as well?
To give you a very short and easy version, it happens when warm, very humid air cools down above a cold surface. Many small drops get formed, and fog is the product of this. Alright, we got the fog covered for now. We also had a storm coming with lots of rain. This happens around low air pressure areas. As we saw, Nami notices a change in air pressure, and a few minutes later,
Marv, what, you a weatherman now? You a weatherologist? You Nami out here just predicting the you just know everything about the weather? Yeah, I know you probably did your research, but you out here like like you from Weatheria. Like you took a course at Weatheria.
later, they enter a huge storm. After they went through it, they were surrounded by thick fog. Now we know that there's something in the Florian Triangle that is responsible for changing the temperature of the surface, and by doing so, changing the air pressure, which leads to storm and heavy rainfalls. Something is cooling down the water in this area to create this thick fog, and the reason for it goes back to way before the Void Century.
So you talking about weather science, man? That's above me right there. Anything when it comes to like weather, air pressure, and how weather works and all that. That's not one of my strongest. It's not a strong point for me knowing like how weather worked. I think I took like a geography. Is geography classes that do that whole weather stuff? You know what I mean? I know very light stuff about weather, but not too much.
We all know that Oda loves to implement and intertwine elements of our real-world mythology into his story. He also uses Norse mythology a lot, and that made me think. What if the shadows that we saw were actually frost giants? Let me elaborate. From now on, it's
Frost giants. So that's where we're going with this one. Some frost giants. So I'm assuming they would have to be bigger than normal giants, but I mean, because we know Elbaf, right? Elbaf is kind of like similar to, it's associated with Norse mythology, right? If anybody is familiar with Thor, right? Asgard, Thor, Odin, they tend to go to battle and war with the frost giants as well, which are some very, I guess they're super strong, right? Matter of fact, Loki in Thor is a frost giant as well, if I remember correctly. Or maybe he's like part frost giant. I don't really remember, but I think he was discovered to be a frost giant.
gonna be a wild ride. And it might get a bit confusing, but stick with me and listen. In Norse mythology, there were three places called Niflheim, Muspelheim, and Ginnungagap. Niflheim was made of ice and Muspelheim out of fire. Both emanated out of the Ginnung.
What was it? Genugabup? How you say that? Genoon Gagap. Genoon Gap. Genoon Gagap. Niflheim, Muspelheim, or Muspelheim. I think I might be saying that wrong. And Genoon Gagap. It's weird.
Both emanated out of the Ginnungagap.
Bro, that kind of remind me of Punk Hazard. This is Akainu and Aokiji. This is a Akainu and Aokiji fight.
A big gaping abyss, or yawning void. And out of the mixing of Muspelheim's fire and Niflheim's ice, Ymir was born. Ymir was the first of the giants and got killed by the first gods, Odin, Ve and Vili. From his flesh they made the earth, from his blood the sea, from his bones the rocks and mountains, from his hair the trees, from his eyebrows Midgard, his skull became the sky, and his brain the clouds. But he also had children, and underneath them were the Hrimturs.
Learn something new about Norse mythology. You know, like I've said before, Norse mythology is probably one of the I ain't gonna say I'm an expert, but I know Greek mythology. Out of all the mythologies, I probably know Greek mythology the most. Now, I'm not saying I'm an expert. I don't, there's a lot of stuff I don't know about Greek mythology, but Norse mythology, I don't know as well. Other than Odin, Thor, Loki, so it's all really. I don't really know too much. I know the world serpent or the world snake. I forgot how you say his Norse name. The frost giants. I know that they have that tree where they got Midgard, Asgard, Niflheim, all those other Heims and all that other stuff. That's about it. That's pretty much what I've known, what I've learned from like Thor and God of War, like the latest God of War. That's probably as far as my knowledge go. And Valhalla, right? That's a lot of people who, a lot of like the Vikings and stuff. They believe when they die, if they die in battle, they go to Valhalla. So it's like if they die in their sleep or something, they don't go to Valhalla. So because it's not an honorable death. So most guys want to die in battle and not like of natural causes or in their sleep or something. So that's as far as my Norse mythology history lesson goes.
Tursen, which were frost giants. Remember the people of Skypiea pray to Earth? This literally meaning Earth, and being the name given to the world by the people of Skypiea. And what does it look like? The Earth made out of a giant? Rings a bell, eh? Considering this, and Oda's love for mythology. Is it so far-fetched to assume that he implemented ice giants in his story? Actually no. We already saw some ice giants in One Piece. The Yeti Cool Brothers. They were huge. And where did we see them?
Yeah, but they're not as big as the things that we seen at Florian Triangle. So they must be some different type of ice giant or something,
Again,
though they are big.
Hazard.
They are huge though.
And does it ring a bell? No.
Yeah, I see where you going.
Oda loves me.
Oh, see, I caught it earlier. That whole Akainu and what they did with Punk Hazard. Hey, see, you knew I was gonna say that. You knew I was gonna say that.
Ring his story. We saw this many occasions already. I don't think I need to list you all of them. There are plenty of videos that take care of that. But what am I referring to now? Punk Hazard? A place made of half fire and half ice, on which giants are created? That's right.
What is that called? The gap one, the Nipple Gap Goggle, whatever that one is, where you got the hey, that's good. I never knew about that place. See, I learned something new. That's a good catch though. That's a good catch. You really did some research. I never knew about the Norse mythology and how like Punk Hazard is kind of a mirror of that moment. And like you said, they do create giants, or they was working on those giants. I think I'm curious if the numbers came from Punk Hazard as well, you know, because we know the numbers were like created or something. I think it was stated they were like experiments.
Caesar Clown was trying to create giants on Punk Hazard. Coincidence? I don't think so. So, Punk Hazard is more or less a miniature version of creation theory of Norse mythology, and as we know, he always starts with a smaller version of something before he gets to the bigger version of it. What I am trying to say is, the world of One Piece once was either created in a similar process or had at least a similar event, and out of this event, the giant race was born, and with them, ice giants. I am claiming that
Man, why you gonna do Saul dirty like that, bro? Why you gonna do Saul dirty like that, man? My man Saul was sacrificed.
big shadows in the Florian Triangle are actually ice giants. They are very cold, and the reason why the water in this area is way colder than the air surrounding it, which leads to heavy fog formation. Some of you might argue that the water should be frozen then, but that's not true. The water does not freeze just because you throw an ice cube in your glass. Same goes for icebergs in the ocean. The water around them doesn't freeze, but it gets significantly colder. That is my theory, and I'm certain that the shadows in the Florian Triangle are frost giants. But as promised, that's not all, because something else came to my mind.
I would think though they would be in a much colder place though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not necessary that they had to be in a colder place. I would think it'd just be comfortable for like frost giants to navigate in like a icy type tundra. You know what I'm saying?
Ores. Gecko Moria found ores in the land of ice. According to Chopper, he died due to frostbite, assumingly because he did not wear enough clothing and had a big injury on his right arm. Moria calls him the Continent Puller. But what if Moria was wrong? I always wondered how they could call Ors the Continent Puller. Sure, the guy was huge, but overall, he's a dwarf compared to Zenisha.
Fact.
So either Ors was tremendously strong, or Moria found the wrong guy. Also,
maybe Ors was like a baby or something, or like well, if he froze, I would think if he froze to death, he couldn't be ice giant. You know what I'm saying? I would think ice giants would be able to survive in cold. So maybe, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming he's not an ice giant. You know, but because Ors is definitely too small to be one. Whatever those silhouettes were, he's definitely too small to be part of their race, unless he was like a baby part of their race or something. But I don't think that's the case.
it was never specified where the land of ice actually is. Now let's address the fact that a guy like Ors, who supposedly amassed countries and islands under his control with his band of villains, was too dumb to dress properly for Arctic climate? Come on, that sounds like a big stretch. What if Ors actually didn't go to the place called Land of Ice, but rather got frozen there and the land with it? We for sure know a guy who's capable of something like this, so why shouldn't have another user of the Hie no Mi existed back then? Alright, so I'm proposing that Ors and the land around him got frozen forever for some reason. What could the reason be? What if Ors learned about his ancestors? Someone fed him the knowledge about his origins, and furthermore and more importantly, what was stolen from them? Marie Joas. As promised, it's getting a bit wild now, but stick with me.
Hold
In
on,
chapter
hold on,
906,
hold on,
we see
hold on.
Emu.
Hold on. You said like, let me rewind just to catch what you said. You said something was stolen from him. Mary Joa was
About his
stolen.
ancestors. Someone fed him the knowledge about his origins, and furthermore and more importantly, what was stolen from them. Marie Joas. As promised, it's getting a bit wild now, but stick with me.
Okay. So I'm assuming you mean they came from like I guess Ors people came from Mary Joa. But if that's the case, did they have a connection with the Lunarians though? Because we know the Lunarians also, I guess they used to live on top of the red line, right? Implied, I think they even said Mary Joa specifically. Like maybe they were kicked out of Mary Joa, and I mean I guess they could coincide, but I don't know. I'm gonna continue.
In chapter 906, we see Emu entering a big frozen vault. Emu is walking towards several alcoves, but what piqued my interest was that the alcove containing the big straw hat actually is lit. I never saw this addressed anywhere, but I did not particularly look for it.
Oh yeah, I've seen people bring that up. You know about the hall being lit that Emu went into. Yeah, I've noticed people bring that up. Like it didn't. I don't think it was brought up in the chapter though.
Either. But why is the alcove lit? Looking closer at it, the straw hat laying there is emanating light, even though it seems to be frozen. Heat cannot be the reason for the light. Something else is responsible for this. It must have some kind of powers. From now on, it's pure speculation. 900 years ago, the Void Century begins, and a great civilization is ruling the planet from one corner to the next. The ancient weapons are built, and the Iron Giant was constructed. Joy Boy makes a promise to raise the Noah for Fishman Island, but never is able to fulfill it. 800 years ago, after a great war, Shandora is destroyed. The Void Century ends. Sunisha commits a crime and is sentenced to walk the seas forever. The world government is formed and they forbid the research about anything that happened in the past 100 years. What happened? What is the crime that Sunisha committed? What if Sunisha was responsible for Joyboy's death? It doesn't even have to be on purpose. What if Sunisha got tricked or forced?
Yeah, I think I've considered that. I think I don't know. I seen the theory where somebody actually brought that point up. Like he was responsible. Like he was tricked into maybe setting Joy Boy up or giving information that led to Joy Boy's downfall. So yeah, I definitely consider that to be a possibility. You know, not me specifically, but I reacted to a theory where that was pointed out, and I consider it as well. I mean, after watching that theory, yeah, you know, because I mean, bro, like to have that type of punishment to walk the seas for that long. I mean, come on, that's a pretty brutal punishment. That you got to do something pretty heinous to get that level of punishment.
I say, Sunisha is the reason why the big straw hat lies in Marie Joas now. The thing is big, but not so big that it would fit on an ancient giant's head, as many people assume, unless it adapts in size to the head of the one who wears.
Yeah, I definitely said that. I'm like, people say, hey, it's like I've heard people say like, cause I've heard theories where Oars was Joy Boy, not Oars, but somebody from Oars' race, and my thought was, if that straw hat belonged to Joy Boy, right, which I think a lot of people speculated to be, that straw hat is way too, like, it's too small for somebody like Oars. Like, you would need like a giant, a small giant to fit that hat. Like, that hat fits like a small giant, like Dorian Broggie or Jaguar D Saw or something, you know.
It all comes back to the giants. I say the giants will play a way bigger and important role in One Piece than any other race. What if Oars was looking for the straw hat that got stolen and hidden under Marie Joas? What if Oars learned about this and tried to look for his ancient ancestors to ask for aid to retrieve it? What if Emo learned about his plan and sentenced him to an icy death? What if the sword actually was the crown of the giant that ruled the world since way before, until the Void Century began? What if Oars got framed as a villain by the world government afterwards? And that's the reason why people remember him as such. What if Oars was actually a nice guy who wanted to stop the world government? What if the world before the Void Century was peacefully governed by several giant races under the king with the Straw Hat crown, and Emu tricked them into fighting each other until only a few survivors of other races aside, until only one race of giants was left, the Elbaf giants. From this point on, if any of this has any truth to it, we can speculate further for what happened and the reason behind it, but this video is already very long and I rather address further topics in another video.
Man, it's like 10 minutes, man. It ain't long. He said, this video is already long. Y'all go show Marf some love. The link to this will be in the description box. I'm gonna make sure I like it. But yeah, interesting theory. Definitely an interesting theory. It's one of those. It's really hard to theorize when it comes to the Florian Triangle because we don't really get enough of anything. But that's why it's so fun, though, right? That's why I think it's fun because so many theories could come from the Florian Triangle, even though it's hard to find any actual basis to those theories because we didn't really get a lot of it. But just knowing how mysterious the Florian Triangle is interesting. And I definitely learned a lot of interesting things watching this theory, especially the whole Norse connection. And I forgot the name. I think it was Ginnungagap, whatever that world is. You know how the Norse mythology, they got that tree. You got Midgard, Asgard, Valhalla. I think Valhalla is part of it. I would assume Valhalla. I think there's a hell as well, like a Hel. It's not like Hell, but just Hel. But you got all these different, I don't know what you call them, dimensions, worlds, universes, whatever. You got all these different places in Norse mythology. One of them being the Ginnungagap, right? Which is the picture. Based on the picture, it looks just like Punk Hazard, right? It looks just like Punk Hazard. And we also know that Punk Hazard tried to create giants there. Well, Caesar specifically tried to create giants at Punk Hazard. So it was a nice little connection, right? It was a nice little connection. We talked about the frost giants. I don't know, honestly. I don't know what them things are. It'd be interesting though. It'd be wild if those are frost giants. Them frost giants are bigger than any other giants that we've seen in this series, which would be wild how big they are. Because I don't think we've seen anything as big as those things in this whole series, other than Zunisha maybe. Maybe Zunisha might even be smaller than those things. Only other big characters I could think of is Wadatsumi and San Juan Wolf, and I don't think they're as big as and Oars as well. I don't think they're as big as those silhouettes that we've seen. So if those things are like actual giants, like frost giants, what took them down? Like, how do you take those things down? Especially if you find a whole race of them things. How do you take them things down? Are they in the Florian Triangle because they're hiding? You know what I'm saying? Trying to, maybe most of their race was killed off by the world government, so they had to leave, find somewhere safe to hide to maybe preserve their race, right? Maybe those three that we seen are the only ones left. I don't know, because I think we seen 3 silhouettes. So I don't know. It's definitely an interesting thing to talk about, though, and it's interesting speculation of them being frost giants, because I didn't think any type of giant would be that big. I guess Zunisha made sense because Zunisha seems bigger than most giants. Like Zunisha towers above any of those giants that we've seen so far, including Oars. I want to say Oars is the biggest giant that we've seen. Either Oars or San Juan Wolf. But we know San Juan Wolf is a giant that ate a big fruit. So San Juan Wolf's size is more caused by the devil fruit he ate. So, but naturally, San Juan Wolf isn't as big as he was when we seen him at Marineford. And even then, like, I don't think he was that big. You know what I mean? Compared to them silhouettes that we've seen. So it's definitely an interesting theory. You know, I would hope we get some answers to what they are and some other answers when it comes to Florian Triangle in the actual story. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. All right, y'all. So that is the video today. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. Comment down below your thoughts on the theory. What did you agree with? What did you disagree with? Let me know down in the comments. If you want to get at me directly, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you also join my Twitch so you could follow me while I'm live. You can engage with me in real time. Make sure you join the Discord as well. That's going to be the best place to get at me because that's usually where I'm the most active. If you want to send me content like what we reacted to today, I have a channel designated for you guys to send me content in the Discord. And if you want to be part of a future discussion stream, you must be a member of the Discord. All of these will be in the description box down below, as well as a link to the video from Tainted Marth that we just watched. So y'all make sure y'all go show Tainted Marth some love. Anyway, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff God, and I'm out of here. Peace.